Super Bowl 59. We'll see Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles versus Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers.
It has been a season full of twists and turns, and it all reaches a crescendo here tonight as EA Sports so proud to welcome you to the marquee event of the NFL calendar, Super Bowl Sunday. It's an old-school battle in the Keystone State of Pennsylvania. The Eagles and the Steelers are underway. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Philly's offense getting ready, and Jalen Hurts ready to lead them. The second-round pick who started his career at Alabama, then finished with an electric senior season at Oklahoma.
As we begin the Super Bowl, we're looking at one of the game's most important players. And whether he's the centerpiece of the offense or taking a backseat to his teammates, offenses always look to the quarterback to be a leader in moments like this. He's got to be that calm, composed pillar out there who stays level-headed and keeps everyone focused on the task at hand.
Fighting his way through contact. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 33 yards that time. Hurts. Got a man. It's Brown. And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this. Understandably, pass rushers keyed up for this Super Bowl, but you can't do that.
And let's face it, no one wants to lose one of these quarterbacks early in this game. So you know they're going to be protected by the officials.
Up the middle with Barkley. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
I really like the vision he displayed on that play because he saw there wasn't a lane to completely break off a huge gain. So he found where there was the most space and got what he could. A nice, dirty run that's a positive play for the offense.
Hurts sets up to throw it. Escapes the sack. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. Amari Cooper from 10 yards out. And the Eagles are on the board first here in this Super Bowl. Elliott good with a PAT. And that makes the score 7-0. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it's Amari Cooper who finishes it off with a touchdown reception. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Steelers now to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by their highly decorated quarterback, Aaron Rodgers.
And no doubt he's living out a dream right now. He's had dating back to his first days of playing football as a kid. But he certainly can't get lost in the moment right now. There's still a Super Bowl to be played. And his offense, they're looking to him to be their leader. You can take it all in when it's over. Right now, you got the biggest game of your life to win.
Zach Bond there on the tackle. This Super Bowl, of course, just a huge one for this head coach. The first time he's walked the sidelines in a game of this magnitude. And you know, I might normally ask the cliche, what's going through his mind right now? But maybe the better question, CD, what do you think are the pitfalls of being a first-time head coach in this game?
Well, you know it's something that he thought about, Brandon, and he had to. And he was thinking about it long before he got to this stage. As the season progressed and he saw that his team was good, if he was smart, he started to make plans right then and there. Reach out to other coaches who've been there before. Find out how they handle winning, losing, handling all the ticket situations, travel, practice, all those things. And then trust your gut, make your best decision, and put it all out there and give your team their best chance to win.
On the run, it's Warren. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on first down.
On 2nd down, Gainwell looking for space. And he stopped immediately there. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. 2 yards still to go. 3rd down now. They'll run. Here's the rookie from Michigan. The defense stiffens to force 4th down following that first down gain of 8. They'll go for it. It's Rodgers. And that is incomplete, but there is a flag. And on 4th down, this is a big call. Well, they got the ball already. They're not going to risk the yardage and running another 4th down. They decline it.
And what was that they taught you in law school, that possession is 9/10 of the law?
I didn't go to law school.
Oh, you didn't? I thought you did. Well, I'm going to give that to you anyway.
Looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Patrick Queen. And the Steelers are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. Boy, he had to fit that into a pretty tight window over the middle. And, Charles, I think they were in zone defensively, weren't they? They certainly were. Nice read on your part. And sometimes the quarterback isn't fooled between zone and man. Sometimes just fooled by the type of zone that he sees. Because oftentimes those linebackers will vacate and run downfield with receivers. In this case, he played a pure zone and was in the wrong spot for the QB. 2nd down and 6 now. Straight ahead, it's Gainwell. And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work. It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here. And here's a handoff to Gainwell. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down. I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt. Rodgers going to try and throw on 3rd down. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles 16. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
And that's well executed there on third down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
And he'll get positive yardage there as he'll be touchdown.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. And the Steelers are going to be set up with a first and goal as good running gets them down to about the 4-yard line. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. Give him 4 on the carry there at second and goal.
But if you're going to have a relay race, you're probably going to pick your backs and receivers to run it, but don't underestimate the conditioning of the offensive line. They're out there just dictating things.
And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A touchdown run there from a yard out. And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this Super Bowl at 7. Everybody in the stadium knew what they were going to do right there, CD. 3 tight ends on the field, all that extra bulk, and they run it in.
And you saw where that one went, right? You run it over your best blocker. I can just see the head coach right now. I want to run this one over the big boy. And they got it done.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. Philadelphia's offense ready to give us another look. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
The slot man in motion right. Here's a fake on the jet sweep as he'll go instead with Barkley. And this is going to be an Eagles first down as he'll take this up to about the 33-yard line.
Sometimes I get almost mesmerized watching these runners who have great vision. You know, those eyes that carry their feet to open spaces, make people miss. I just love watching those guys go to work.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. That to the sideline, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Joey Porter Jr. And nearly a touchdown as they finally stop him down at about the 3-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they've got it 1st and goal at the 3. What a place to start. So quite a turn of events. This is 1st and goal from the 3. Warren will get down close to the goal line, but not in, as he'll be marked down at the 1. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
Good work there, holding them out on 1st down, and this is going to be a battle down here on the goal line. Can they hold their ground for 2? Maybe even...
And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Cordero Patterson punching it in from a yard away. And the Steelers have taken the lead. Boswell for the extra point. It's up and good, and it's 14-7 now here in the 1st quarter. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And he returns this to the 22. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's got a man complete. It's Amari Cooper. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it'll be 2nd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on. And I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work.
And Hurts is intercepted, his 3rd of the game. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. A nightmare of a first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go in the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
Now run straight ahead with Warren. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
It'd be hard to say that a defense wouldn't be ready for a first down run. When you can gain that kind of yardage against a defense that's really kind of geared to stop that play, your confidence has to rise, and now you've actually opened up your playbook. If you want to throw the ball now for play action, you're good to go.
On the handoff, Gainwell. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. A yard all they need, but it's 3rd down. Moore, the motion man right. They'll try and pick it up on the ground with Wilson. And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line.
So it's pretty simple, partner. You pick up a turnover, set you up in excellent field position. The last thing you want to do is go 3 and out in this spot.
Yeah, they would have had to settle for a field goal attempt, but now they keep those touchdown hopes alive. And the tight end goes in motion left. They'll run here with Gainwell. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Here's Rodgers to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Washington. They'll wind up getting 7 on the completion, but they'll still be faced now with a 3rd and goal situation.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Boswell's kick is good, and they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. Well, Charles, I think you'd have to call that a win for the defense after the turnover already in field goal range, and they had to settle for 3.
Yeah, being the beautiful part is you start so close to the end zone that your thought process on offense has to loosen up a little bit, because you're thinking to yourself, you're almost guaranteed 3. Let's take some good shots at the end zone and try and turn it into 6.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Second down, here's Jalen Hurts. Completes it right side to Cooper.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Hurts. He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. And he's going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Throwing is Hurts. Got his receiver, Cooper. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 23 yards, the final tally. Here's Hurts to throw. Looking for and finding Amari Cooper again. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. He's been a one-man wrecking crew these last couple of plays. This time 18 more and a first down. Back to throw again. This one goes out wide for Barkley. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. Give to Barkley out of the gun. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Second down, here's Barkley again. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. Now a battle for the football. It's caught. It's a touchdown. A.J. Brown from 6 yards away. And the Eagles are back within a score. Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it's capped off by an A.J. Brown touchdown. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback. Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. That throw, Charles, over the middle of the field, and a few too many bodies in there got picked.
That's a normal situation, too, isn't it? No matter how hard you try and spread the field sometimes, there's always going to be a traffic jam, it feels like, towards the middle. And if there's any type of a missed throw or maybe the ball's tipped or just too many bodies in the area, an interception can result.
A well-executed 22-yard gain. Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Back to throw here. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. Now Hurts looking to change the play. Looking to throw. This is caught. And he's brought down short. 2 yards there. Needed 4.
A short game that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. Boy, a call like this, certainly tougher to make in a Super Bowl, but they'll go for it on 4th down. And they'll run for it with Barkley. And brought down, but not before he was able to break the tackle, and the extra effort moves the sticks. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th. It'll be Hurts on the option. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
No question, he's so dangerous down here near the goal line. The safeties, they have to be involved in run support against a quarterback like this. And in turn, they're going to ask their teammates to be involved as well.
Barkley is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia.
And as a defensive coordinator, you're almost in a no-win situation down here near the goal line. You know how dangerous Jalen Hurts is when he holds on to it. You've got to be prepared to stay with him. So when he hands it off, if you're slow in reacting, this is going to be the result.
Elliott good with a PAT. And that will make this a 4-point game. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Steelers ready to take over on offense. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. That's a loss of 8 yards there to bring up 3rd. 2 minutes on the clock in the 2nd quarter of this Super Bowl. A tough spot here. 3rd and 15. To throw, it's Rodgers. Flush to his right. He's got a man. Complete. There he goes, right side. There's some concern out there right now as we got an injury stoppage. It's DK Metcalf who's getting some help following that last play. Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone. A handoff for Warren. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Now that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive line.
And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Jalen Warren, his 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Steelers have retaken the lead. These two teams in this first half, it's been fun. Back and forth, back and forth. Well, it's not fun for the defensive coordinators, but offensive coordinators are enjoying it.
Yeah, they're having streaks here, aren't they? Being able to put scores together and really bunch them up, and we have a tight game here. You know, we often talk about having the right shoes for the right turf. Today it's track shoes. That's what we've seen with these offenses.
Yeah, it's been an absolute track meet so far. Fun to watch. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. And you figure, Charles, they have enough time here in the first half, more than a minute, to put a drive together, at least get them in position to try a field goal.
Yeah, they've got all 3 timeouts at their disposal, so I'm actually thinking bigger. With those 3 timeouts, that amount of time on the clock, I'm thinking about trying to get a touchdown and settle for a field goal.
The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Here's 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Hurts. Over the middle here to Brown. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Oh, and Hurts is going to be hit and taken down to the ground. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
On is the punter man as he boots this one away. Here's Jackson. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. The danger of a punt that good, a 16-yard return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. Now Rodgers. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Reed Blankenship. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line.
Certainly feels like the classic second guess, but let's be honest about it. They had a chance going to halftime with the lead. Why did they take a chance with a throw there? I don't understand that.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. And now this defense has to try to protect that lead going into the locker room. He dumps it off to Barkley. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it's 2nd down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
This is caught. It's Brown. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, a 31-yard attempt. The kick by Elliott is good. And that will do it for this first half. So we've come upon halftime in the big one, the Super Bowl. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. What a season this has been. Hard to believe it ends tonight, as we'll get back to you guys for the second half of this Super Bowl in just a moment. It's been a tremendous season from beginning to end. And now we'll play one half of football to decide who raises the Lombardi Trophy. And for the call, let's get it right back to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach. Yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. The Steeler offense ready to get going to begin this third quarter. And through one half at least, this Super Bowl has been everything it was cracked up to be. All tied What's your key for them, Charles, in the second half?
Simplicity, partner, because in the Super Bowl, with the extra time at halftime, I think some staffs get caught up in trying to design too many things. It's all tied up. They have to remember what they did to get here, put that back into play here in the second half, and I think they'll be all right.
Tackle there by big Jordan Davis.
The defense thought they had that play covered, but it still got driven backward by those blockers. Those types of plays are a key part of any team's offensive game plan. It all starts up front in the trenches.
From the 39-yard line, here comes second down at 6. They run behind center with Gainwell.
And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43.
All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center, because remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion, and sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
Throwing now is Rodgers.
Over the middle, that's caught by Metcalf.
So the completion good for 7 there, and that'll make it third down.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage.
Throwing is Rodgers on third down. Got a man, and he hits him in stride.
And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag. Completed it very well.
On the give, it's Warren. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
In motion, the tight end.
On the run is Gainwell.
Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more.
So that time they get the tight end on the hold.
Normally he's a pretty good run blocker, but this time he just didn't get his arms extended and let go quickly enough. The flag came out as a result.
Second down, this is Wilson. And he's fortunate to get anything from that. Give him a yard up to the 49.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
From the gun on third down, Rodgers.
Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 37. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
60 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
But really, that was no surprise there. They've been running it well all game, and I know goals change all the time, but any team will take that type of run each and every time.
They'll run with Wilson out of the shotgun,
and he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line.
4 yards the pickup, first down.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy, let him pick up the first down.
Now a run with Warren.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
Now they'll throw with Rodgers. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Here's Warren.
And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
Warren is not going to get back to the line of scrimmage as they'll tackle him at the 3.
So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Nothing doing there as the 13th play of the drive proves to be unlucky.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Wilson.
And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. Only a yard there, so it brings up 4th and goal.
Offensively, not what they wanted there, but hey, you can kick the field goal here and take the lead.
Felt like a little bit of a statement stop, didn't it? You know, made a big play right there. Okay, guess what? Ball's in your court, guys. What are you going to do?
And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Cordero Patterson, his 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl.
And the Steelers have taken the lead as they go right down the field and score on the opening drive of the 2nd half.
Boswell good with the extra point, and they will take a 7-point lead. That drive a long one, spanning 15 plays, and it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the 2nd half.
And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the 3rd quarter.
And they need to take a good, relaxing, deep breath, don't you think? Because right now they might start to feel like they've got to play catch-up here and start matching them point for point. But it's still too early to get there. They can still run their offense. Plenty of time to get back in this game.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down. Keep the sticks moving.
Hurts throw here taken in as he's able to find Goddard.
Nothing at all on that one. It'll be 2nd down.
That was a nice throw out there to the flat, but they defended that pretty well. The hope is to go ahead and put it on him so he can turn and get upfield and gain additional yardage. There just wasn't anywhere to go on that play.
Barkley, inside handoff.
And he'll push forward to the 37, gain of 2.
It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage, and we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the 1st. It'll go down as a gain of 6. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the 1st down. Now to be 4th and short.
The Eagles send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. It's a 39-yard punt, 3 on the return.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field.
Well, certainly they'd rather have the scenario they had last time. Now, Charles, remember, they had the short field. They took it in the end zone. Now this is going to have to be a longer, more sustained drive if they want to get points.
Yeah, a little bit more of a quick strike opportunity last time by where they were on the field, and you're exactly right about that. But now, backed up a little bit. What's that old expression we love to use? Time to matriculate the ball down the field and try and do it again.
And this is going to be a Steelers 1st down as he's got this up to the 28-yard line.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. He'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Final minute now of the 3rd quarter.
They'll run it. Warren. And he'll get about 2 there to the 36.
This is how offensive coordinators earn their money. He thought he was ahead of the curve after 1st down.
Got 7 yards 1st down play, but then you get stuffed there on 2nd down, maybe just a yard out of it. Now your advantage is evaporated. The tight end in motion right. On 3rd down, here's Wilson. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Here in the Super Bowl. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
And there's just 1 quarter that remains in this edition of the biggest game of the year, the Super Bowl, as we get set for the 4th quarter.
2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10.
Now run straight ahead with Warren. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. 97 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
On 1st and 10, it's Gainwell.
And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. Good gain there on 1st down. It keeps them in a running situation, probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. Oh, he's got a little daylight.
That's some strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone.
That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler 1st. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Throwing is Rodgers. Got an open man. It's Scott. Short completion, just 4 yards, and it's 2nd down.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what we said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3 and out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. A 5-yard touchdown run.
And the Steelers are starting to pull away in the 4th quarter of this Super Bowl.
And that right there is the definition of a statement drive. You're in the fourth quarter, trying to get to the finish line, and here they were able to hold the ball for a long time and move it down the field. And how about them finishing it off with the touchdown run? Winning football 101, check that box.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And we're at the time in this Super Bowl where, look, they need points, and they need them badly. Trailing here in the fourth quarter as they begin this drive 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. They'll try the right side here. Barkley.
And some good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line.
Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They'll set up to throw. It's complete to Brown, right side. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that will bring up second down. They'll drop to throw. This short throw caught by Goddard. And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. His second catch of the Super Bowl, and it's good enough for a first down.
Good yardage on the completion there. When they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
On first down, Hurts. But he's got Cooper on the out route. That's complete. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that'll bring up second down. Again, he'll drop to throw. This short throw caught by Goddard. Not able to get a single yard there, and it'll bring up third down.
Let's just make this one simple. Could he be any more open than he was on that play?
And they lost him going to the outside.
Hard to believe because you go through your accounting on each and every defensive snap. Who's got who, what defense you're in. That was totally a blown coverage. I can assure you, setting up the screen is much more difficult than it appears. It requires excellent timing from everyone on the offense, and a defense's #1 goal is to throw that timing off.
If they're going to have a shot in this Super Bowl, they're going to need this one on fourth down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw.
Look in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to be dumped there, but he does have a first down.
Fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
A first down carry for Barkley. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13.
Hurts.
Now he's flushed out. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. T.J. Watt bringing the pressure yet again. That's his third sack here tonight.
And that's his third sack, and that ties a Super Bowl record. Makes me think of my old college teammate, Reggie White. He had 3 with the Green Bay Packers in Super Bowl 31. Darnell Dockett of Arizona, Super Bowl 43. And Coney Ely, 3 sacks for the Panthers against Denver in Super Bowl 50.
All those sacks, they've only been an official record since Super Bowl 17. I know it's believed that L.C. Greenwood unofficially had 4 way back in Super Bowl 10.
Wearing those golden high tops as well.
That's going to be caught by Bigsby. And he's going to be touched down short of a first. And it's 4th down coming up.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked it down to force a 4th down?
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And that is incomplete. The Eagles unable to convert there on 4th. And this long drive is going to wind up yielding nothing. So still over 3 minutes remaining in this game. But, boy, not getting that when that hurt.
That's a little bit demoralizing, so they have to be careful about that because still have an opportunity if they can get some things done on defense. But now, since they've taken over on downs, a team with the ball, guess what? Going to 4-minute offense, maybe they can put this thing away.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down.
They'll get this to the 24, and it's 2nd down. On the run, it's Warren.
He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. The offense on 3rd down tonight, 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
But they'll try and run for it with Gainwell.
And he is going to have the 1st down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd.
51 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8.
A handoff for Warren.
And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
Third and 5.
They'll run straight ahead with Wilson. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches. Meeting the tough yards, they run it with their fullback.
And he is going to have a Steeler 1st down. All smiles on that sideline. That should be the one to do it. On the give, it's Warren.
A little juke. And he's going to get this inside the 30. That good for 19 and a 1st down.
Brandon, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. you're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about to run them into submission, hasn't he?
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He has run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
The Pittsburgh Steelers have won the Super Bowl, and the Lombardi Trophy is going back to the Steel City. And to the Super Bowl champions, they etch their name forever in NFL immortality.
That's pretty phenomenal right there. It actually gave me chills just to hear you say that, because immortality forever and ever. When you look in the record books, you'll see this team, you'll see their picture, that your name will be a part of it. That's got to be an incredible feeling, because it's been a long journey to get there, and now they get a chance to enjoy it.
And they are the Super Bowl champs. The Lombardi Trophy is theirs, and so are bragging rights for an entire season. What a season it has been. Feels like we have been there every step of the way. Our entire crew doing a wonderful job. Thanks to my broadcast partner, Charles Davis. For all those guys, I'm Brandon Gunn signing off. We'll talk to you next season right here on EA Sports.